last. Recording in progress. All right.
Okay, I will see if I can get on. I may have trouble getting on both my cell and my computer, in which case I'll just come on with my cell, okay?
Okay, so wait, so now I have to admit, okay. All right, I just admitted Jessica, okay. And Janice Gray is, oh, wow. So I'm Jan.
I just got on, I
She's
believe.
here. Yay. Now they made me the host for some reason. All right.
Okay, you need to let me in too.
Okay. Okay, how do I, wait a minute. All right.
Ignore my email, sorry.
There's no vision, there's Shutesbury host. Are you guys hearing a, how do I, people don't have videos up, so.
Well, Jessica's here and Janice is here.
And Jeanette is here. It's just no, I'm not getting the video of you all.
Well, let me turn my video on.
And I'm hearing, there's a lot of echo, so. If, oh. I'm the Shutesbury host, okay. Hello, everybody.
Oh, I can hear you fine. This is Janice.
Hi, Janice. Hey, there's Jeanette. Great, all right, and we'll get Susan in a minute. Okay, she just hung up, all right. Well, that was exciting. I went up to town yesterday and said, we need a Zoom link, and so at 4 p.m. it shows up, okay. All right, so we need our secretary. She's muted. Are you still there, Susan?
I'm seeing two Shutesbury hosts in the participant list, but I don't know if they're both one person. The second one is both muted and has no video.
Correct, and that's what I'm seeing by the picture, and I'm the host, and I don't know whether she's also a host, so.
That's what I was wondering.
Right, and I think that's what the echoing was when she was not muted, but I'm not sure that she's on, so she's our secretary. Is entering, oh, I have to admit her. Okay, my bad, okay. All right. Hello, Susan. She's connecting to audio, okay.
Good.
All right. Susan, are you present and accounted for? She's muted.
I've gone mute again. Okay, hang on a second. I need a pad of paper to do this.
Okay.
Talk about annoying.
In capital letters. You did a nice job flying me in though. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Luckily, I had the instructions from Grace at hand.
All right. So, okay, shall we start the meeting?
Ah, there she is.
Yay. All right. Council on Aging meeting has been called to order at 5:42 p.m. on May 8th. So shall we approve the minutes from April, from last month, and is it from March also, or was it just posted, Susan?
The March ones were just posted. I mean,
Okay.
they've already been approved. It was just me
That's right.
sending the PDF to Grace and you all.
Okay. So approval of minutes one. I sent you.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to change that correction. I will.
Okay. Any comments in regards to the minutes for April? Any necessary corrections?
Yeah, the correction is I dropped a number. It's basically a typo.
Right.
Foot clinic, was that what it was?
Clinic, yes, it read 112 and it should have read 1,122. You were testing my math.
There.
All right. So do we have a motion to, any discussion? We have a motion to approve the minutes for April with that one amendment? A correction?
So approve the minutes as amended.
Janice,
I might be getting mixed up, but there was a sentence that I pointed out.
I
to
have corrected
Susan.
those. I have corrected those, Janice. You received you should have received a copy of the corrected minutes yesterday.
Oh, okay, I apologize. I missed it. Okay. You just referred a moment ago to one correction and I thought, where's the other one? So never mind, ignore me.
Yeah, this
that was a late moment correction that I noticed when preparing the financial report. All right. So a motion to approve the amended minutes for April 10th, 2024. Anybody want to make a,
I have to abstain because I wasn't there.
okay,
This is Janice.
would you like to second the emotion, Janet Stockton? All right, you're muted.
Good thing. I second the motion to accept the April minutes COA.
Great. Now shall we take a vote?
Yes.
Favre, aye.
we usually go in alphabetical order.
So that would be me, Janice Gray, abstain.
Okay.
Millinger, aye.
MA.
Jessica, correction, Jessica has, I failed to, Jessica was approved as a member by the select board of the Council on Aging. So Jessica, you may vote. You may,
Oh, sorry.
my bad. You're muted, Jess. Oh, she was not at the meeting.
Last meeting.
She was
Right.
sick. All right, thank you.
So Stockton, I.
So minutes are approved as amended. All right. So the next most important thing, Jessica was approved at the select board meeting within the past month. And so now she's an official member of Council on Aging. Welcome, Jessica.
I figured out how to unmute myself too.
Yes, yes. All right. Financial report. So financial report for the month of April. So funding remaining, this was the funding we had unspent. This is sort of a recap, but I think it helps to give a perspective on a monthly basis. The funding remaining is $984.43. And that was from previous fall, and 3,997 is the EEOA grant, which is the second half of the year. So available to spend was 9,000, or correction, at this $4,981.43. So anticipated expenses. And Jessica, for your information, this means these are costs that we know we budget for with,
Right.
okay. So foot care, and that's for the this half of the year, it's $1,122. Fitness classes, we've budgeted 1,500, and the Gizette, we had budgeted 800. So the total of that anticipated was 3,422. So from this past month, our expenses that were drawn from the anticipated expenses, the foot care in April came to $237. And the library exercise classes came to $1,560. And that was for, do you want a breakdown of that, Susan, in terms of the,
No, I don't think we need
Okay.
that. You think
All
we
right.
need that, Martha?
pardon me?
Jeanette thinks we need it, huh?
No, I don't think we need it. I just wanted to make sure that this invoice was just sent by Mary Ann. Is this,
Correct, it was.
are we reacting to an invoice?
This is an invoice.
Great.
Yes.
Terrific.
Yes. And so the total for the expenses for the month of April were $1,797. So the anticipated expenses from above were 3,422, and less April's expenses, which was $1,797. That leaves us $1,625. So that's the new balance for anticipated expenses. And then the remainder that's available to spend that hadn't been part of those anticipated expenses is $1,559.43.
I'm sorry, could you run that again, please?
Sure, sure, from the,
Just figure what's all I need.
okay, so the new balance of anticipated expenses is 1625.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
And the remainder available to be spent is 1559.43.
So, the May, smartphone is not billed. We haven't been billed yet?
No, we have not been billed yet.
Okay, thank you.
She's going to submit an invoice, so that will go into May.
How did that class go?
It went well. It went
Good.
well. We had 10 people. Yep. So big news tonight in terms of, this is an aside, in terms of the budget, is the state Senate, House Ways and Means approved the budget, and there was an increase for the formula grants to elders of $15 per elder, that the MCOA, the Mass Council on Aging, and Council on Aging's had advocated for. So if you have time, send Joe Comerford a note. Thank you. All right, that's financial report. Next on the agenda, Sarah Fisk was originally on the agenda. She's at a conference. She's the town nurse, so she will be here in June.
Can I back up for a sec?
Yes.
Okay, I believe the Senate has to approve the budget also. So,
Oh, okay, what? Go,
well,
Susan.
then the House budget is what the House voted, but the Senate will have to vote and then they will have to reconcile the two. So, and then the governor will have to sign it.
Okay, all right. I was getting excited. Sorry.
Yep,
Thank
sorry.
Stockton here. Just because it's hard to keep clear sometimes. When is our fiscal year over?
July 1, I believe. Is that correct?
Well, it's the last of June, I would say.
The last of June, right, June
When
30th.
it's over. Yeah, so it starts July 1st.
Okay,
We can roll over the funds.
okay. And please, I'm not advocating for Village Neighbors, but I know that the finance guy was just sending out the letter. And I'm wondering if we probably already paid for this year.
Yes.
Okay,
In the fall, correct? 1,000, was it?
that did have a very nice breakdown of services to the 4 towns, and at some point, if you would like me to present that, perhaps next meeting. I don't have the data here, but it's quite fascinating.
Thank you. That would be helpful.
But that does mean that neighbors can get their $500 in July.
with the next donation, right?
Yeah,
How,
I think
and we could give more than 500 if we wanted to.
I feel like we did give more this year. So anyway, let's save it. But I'd be happy to present those fascinating facts as we
We may have decided to give 1,000.
I thought we did.
Okay.
yeah, I think we did too.
Okay. So they can get their 1,000 as of the 1st of July if they ask. Remind us.
All right. Next meeting. Okay. Next on the agenda is update on foot care clinic. So,
What happened to the letter to select board?
oh, the letter, yes, the letter to select board. The letter to this was the letter to select board.
Oh.
I had listed that as being transportation.
Yeah,
Yes. When I gave the information to Jeanette to work on, this is my bad. I had given her the information in regards to the life path. Lynn Feldman had asked Council on Aging to send a letter of support to the select board to Lynn Feldman wants to be invited to discuss the life path FRCOG action plan. And that's what Jeanette worked on this month. So it was my bad, but transportation fell off the table for this month, unfortunately. The letter to the select board.
even though we have the letter to the select board and I wanted to make a comment on it. But we're not discussing it tonight.
The letter to the select board in regards to the
To
action.
the action plan, yes.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Yes.
I have it that I can maybe share Stockton here. I have it that I can maybe share screen. I don't know what our capabilities are in terms of that. Do you want me to try it, or do you, as the host, are you the only person that can open it? And I'm not promising it'll happen anyway. Do you want me to try?
I just opened screen sharing and I'm co-host, so I think I can do that. So
Okay,
you
but
can, let's see, hang on a second. Martha,
Yes.
you may have the ability to, okay, multiple participants can share simultaneously.
so
Try.
shall I give it a try?
Yeah. Ta-da.
There we go.
But it's not very big. Come, be bigger.
Can you get it down to we're seeing the we're not seeing the top of the letter.
There
Are
we
you seeing it?
Yes.
Okay. So a lot of this was taken from the Life Path website, their information. So we're happy to make any changes that you feel need to be made.
Gray here just wants to point out a sentence that doesn't really quite work. It needs a little tweaking to make sense.
Sure.
Well, if you're willing to let me do this, this is Gray here, by the way. Sorry, I keep forgetting. In the second paragraph, which began an age-friendly action plan is a proactive approach. The second sentence says, it serves as a roadmap for local organizations and municipal leaders to implement measures that promote the well-being and active participation of older adults, et cetera, et cetera. And it seems to me that sentence doesn't quite make sense to me. I think it would be better served if it said it serves as a roadmap for local organizations and municipal leaders to help implement measures that promote the well-being. If you're following me, and you may not be,
Mhm.
or who wish to implement. The roadmap itself isn't going to implement anything. It's the local organizations and municipal leaders.
Okay, so I just put a help in there. Was that enough, Janice?
Janice,
Somewhere,
you
yeah.
too.
There's several places you could do, you could just tweak it.
Sure.
Local. To help implement measures. Mhm.
Are you finding anywhere else specifically that I can make change?
I would add on the last paragraph, we, the Shutesbury Council on Aging, I'd add a comma after
Okay.
Council on Aging. But I'm a comma happy person. And some
Yeah,
people
you
think
know,
I
we
am.
had we, and I changed it. So great, thank you.
No, it's not. No, it's that that's correct. The comma would go, we, the Shutesbury Council on Aging, comma, would
Okay.
like to invite Melbourne. There you go. Commas are subjective. I like them. Some people hate them.
Week.
Now it's interesting because I'm getting the little blue jaggedy line now. We, the Shutesbury Council on Aging, comma. Would
Well,
like to-
you need a comma after we.
We.
Okay, I had
It
one there.
was there.
Great.
Then it,
Now
yeah.
it's there.
Okay.
Yay.
Other than that, should we
Wait a
have our
minute.
names?
This is, wait a minute, this is Faber. Does that make that last sentence? We, Council on Aging, would like to invite Feldman and point person on to present this plan.
Yeah, there's really should be a comma after initiative as well. Says the happy comma person.
Okay, initiative to
Okay.
present this plan. I mean, to present this plan to the Shutesbury, aren't we, the Shutesbury Council would strongly encourage the select board to invite Lynn Feldman to present.
Yes.
Okay, so Jeanette,
Right.
we, the Shutesbury Council on Aging would
Would like the select board to invite her?
would strongly encourage
Inviting
select-
Lynn Feldman?
encourage the select board
Okay,
To invite.
oops. Would strongly encourage the Shutesbury?
Yep.
Okay, I'll fill this and you don't need to
Yeah.
watch me belabor this.
select board
Yep, okay.
to invite her, because that we're,
Yep.
we're encouraging, that's what we're trying to do. Yeah,
Okay,
cool.
all right.
You'd probably want to say to present this plan to you, right?
To the
Since you've already encouraging the select board to invite her. To
What is that?
our,
This
to
plan
the
to
community,
them.
or to the community, maybe? To the select board and the community?
That's how other community, I'm sorry, Stockton here. That's how other communities have done it. I believe Wendell had like a group community meeting for this purpose. To present the plan.
Yeah, that's a nice idea.
Okay. Great. So Jeanette, you had a question in terms of,
So to
sign it?
present this plan to the select board and community?
No, oh yeah, to present this plan to the The select board and the community, yeah.
I mean,
And technically,
sorry.
and no one gets this, but select board in this usage should be 2 words in both of those places.
Yes.
But even this board does it inconsistently.
Did we lose Jeanette on that one?
Capital B or lowercase?
Capital B. Thank you.
Okay, can I make some suggestions now? Is Janice finished?
I'm done with my pickiness.
That's okay. I agree with you on the commas. I'm a comma person myself. When I read this, I thought it was pretty repetitive. And I'm trying to figure out the simple places to make oh, this is not quite the same thing as what I'm reading on my copy of the letter.
This
The
was,
letter- The letter that I have starts off in 2020, Franklin County and the North Quabbin embarked on a collaborative.
yeah.
So did you rewrite the initial?
Yeah,
And not, okay, well, it would have been nice to see it ahead of time because now I have to look again and see if it's still kind of repetitive, which is what I thought it was.
okay. Well, Martha, I sent it to you at about 3 after I worked on it. So it just didn't get done. But it's much less repetitive. I agree with you that it was repetitive at that time.
Okay, then. Could we sort of scroll down so I could see?
Yep.
Yep. Okay. I still think that maybe you don't need the first sentence in the last paragraph. Because you've talked about it already being a collaborative process, and you've talked about the people involved.
Mm. Mm.
Okay, the nice thing about that though, if I perhaps, not that I have this memorized, but the nice thing here, it does talk about who all is involved.
Yep.
Although, wait, no,
Maybe
wait,
just-
that already happened. You're absolutely right. In the middle of the second paragraph, the plan was developed through consultations. So, yeah, you're right. I think we could probably just get rid of that. It was
What you
just
do is include government up in that earlier sentence.
and
Gray here, whoever just highlighted section, that's actually the 3rd paragraph. The 2nd paragraph is the one after, it doesn't have a break between the two, which is why it's confusing.
Yep.
And you thought you were in there should be a break. Okay, now that lines up with what I printed out.
Yeah, I understand that you want to include the effort between local government officials, community organizations, businesses, and residents, because it's a little bit different from what you've said above.
Mm-hmm.
But it's, oh well. I'm not gonna
I
agitate.
mean, we have municipal leaders up. Oh no, that's Holder adults representative. So if we just say such as government, healthcare, transportation, housing, or I don't know.
Well, no, because it's a different kind of concept when you stick government in there.
Yeah, it's just kind of a nice lead in to then just go, and now it's time for our local government to get involved, or at least to get informed. Not that they're not.
Yeah.
They did get this, as you all know.
Yeah.
A while
Okay,
ago.
don't worry about my concern. I think the new introductory paragraph is helpful. The new first paragraph.
Okie doke.
I think just sort of as a general principle, not that I often do it myself, shorter is better because people pay more attention to what you're saying.
Mhm.
Again, a great deal of this was lifted. And I actually shortened, so we're now editing the LifePath website to a certain extent. I already shortened some of their very, very long
Right.
sentences.
Well, that's okay. We have no
Yeah.
commitment to keep the language of the.
Absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely. So if anyone has anything specific where they would like me to shorten something, I've got my chopping finger right now, or we could also all look at this tomorrow and see if anybody has any other concerns, and then I can put it together.
I just
Uh,
have one thing that's bothering me.
Sure.
At the very end, if you
Mhm.
scroll down to the very last sentence, it says we can together. I think
Mhm.
it sounds better saying together we can.
Okay.
For me, it does. It might
Yeah,
not bother.
it sounds
me,
a
it's
little
like-
more like a cheer.
Right. I think
Right.
together we can begin to identify sounds. I don't know. It was bothering me.
All right, well, that's good. We don't want anything bothering anybody if we can help it. So suggest away, people.
Together we can begin with. Would like to have, I like that wording, together we can begin to identify, yeah. Yeah, all right, LifePath.
Again, my question was, should we have our names on it or just have it the Shutesbury COA?
Well, it doesn't hurt to remind them who we are.
That's right.
So,
All right, so I'll put those in alphabetical order.
all right, is it respectfully submitted, not to be,
Yes. Well, you want to put Martha first as chair.
She would go first anyway, wouldn't she?
That's true. So we don't have to worry about that.
And now I'm not sure if it's going to fit on one page, but we'll work on that. I can make it a 1 point smaller type.
You want to divide select board into the two independent words in the address?
right,
Well, that's correct. Because that's an adjective.
Okay.
Wow.
No,
I'm
I don't
learning so
like that.
much.
I would just say, dear select board.
Oh, in
Myself.
that case, it would be two.
the things you learn, all right. Question, how will we need to track when select board would invite Lynn Feldman, correct? Would they necessarily notify us?
No, they wouldn't necessarily. And also you want to track it to make sure they remember to do it.
Right,
And when you're notifying people, you might want to send a copy to the person who serves as the select board secretary.
okay. Who is that, do we know who that is?
I don't know if we know who that is.
They need a new one, right?
Right.
Yes.
Okay,
You know, so yeah.
Here's another quick question, Stockton here. As I do the names, I can run them across in alphabetical order with commas in between.
It's better underneath.
I'm suggesting that we don't need to put them in list form because then it goes on to a second page possibly. So I'm suggesting, would this be okay? Except for the lack of capitals.
Understood.
What do we think about that?
Gray here. I was under the impression, and I'm getting a little lost, that the first paragraph, because some of it is repeated at the end, was going to be shortened and revert to the version that Martha sent out on Monday. In that case, you might not need to spill over to a second page.
In fact, if we do that, you could probably cut the second question, the second sentence in the first paragraph, and just because you get into detailed discussion of what an age-friendly action plan would involve in the second paragraph.
Okay. So, to be specific, in the second paragraph, the third line, starting with the word it, can we get rid of that, the roadmap? It serves as a roadmap. What do you want to get me to get rid of? Because this was actually shorter than the original.
Yeah, I think you could probably cut that
Okay.
second.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost like it's sort of pointing out what they already know. Again. Consultations. Blah, 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 blah. All right, I don't, yeah, I think, the first sentence is kind of a little familiar and kind of nice, and then the second is a little more like, this is what it all is, and then the third is, we want to now get involved. We want we want to suggest that the select board and the community reap really and see what occurred, because they did get the data a while ago, but I don't believe it's ever been presented unless it was in the Gazette.
Well, the select board was presented with the idea of an age-friendly action plan. Well, I don't know about the action plan, just the age-friendly program, when they heard from the previous person in charge, when they decided to but that's a long time ago now, so I think a reminder is a good idea.
Okay.
Should we make it easy and provide Feldman's email or something so they could easily contact her? Or they could just, I guess they could, I'm trying to make it easy for him in this letter to invite Feldman, Life Path Director of Community Services.
Is this going as a paper letter or as an email attachment or an email?
Janice, Susan, how do we address select board emails?
I don't know.
I think I remember a letter, but I would actually ask somebody like the secretary or Becky. Secretary would have more time on her hands if she exists. Well, no, she wouldn't have more time on her hands. That's not true. I would ask one of them whether they would prefer it as a written letter for their records, which would be useful to have, or as an email. Actually, it wouldn't hurt to do both.
Okay. Okay.
The more ways they have to be reminded of it and to think of it, the better.
Okay. All right. So send it email and written letter.
Yeah.
And we can, you can provide that to me, Jeanette, and I can send it out from COA.
Yes, I can. And does it go to each of the select board members or just to the select board en masse?
Well, if it's an email, I think they all get it.
Uh-huh. Okay. Because we could also include Lynn Feldman's contact information right on that, right in the heading as well. So she gets a copy? Or is that not appropriate?
I think that's appropriate.
So CC Feldman too. Okay.
Yeah. Well, you're going to send it to Becky also, as well as the select board, but she may very well get it. Yeah, I don't know what the Jessica, do you have a sense about that? What the protocol is for sending letters to the select board?
I am not sure at all. I can find out though.
Yeah, why don't you ask your sister?
I can definitely do that.
That'd be great.
Okay, so I can
Yes.
stop sharing now if you'd like. Again, if anyone has, perhaps I should send this to everybody since obviously there was a previous iteration of it and make sure we're all okay with that.
Good idea.
All right, so I'm going to stop sharing now.
Thank you.
Geez, Jeanette, thanks a lot for doing this.
You're
Yes,
welcome.
Gray says.
Yes. All right. Next on the agenda is,
Okay. I am not including the letter. I'm just referring to the letter in the minutes.
okay, great, thank you. Update on foot care clinic. I believe that's the next one in the agenda. Okay, so happy to announce that the foot care clinic returns to Council on Aging's room the third Wednesday of June.
Ooh.
And Susan Gomberg stepped forward and has been helping me in regards to setting it up with Nan Mead, the nurse, and through Vanessa at Foot Care. And so Susan will be responsible. She answers the Council on Aging phone. She checks the messages daily at noontime. And so the calls will be coming into Council on Aging phone to sign up with for appointments, and we'll be able to see more patients because it runs from 9 to 1, so 30-minute appointments.
What day?
Wednesdays, third Wednesday of the month. And third Wednesday of each month from 9 to 1. Yep. And so happy to say that all those baby seats are out of there. The row
Ooh.
is, yes. And we found the chair, and so this will work. We will get a key for, I will get a key for town hall to make sure that it's open for them on Wednesdays. So the arrangement of money will be, it will be collected by Susan, and Nan will deposit the money into the foot care account, and we will receive the balance due. One question I have is, in the past, Susan Gomberg would, when people came in, there would be I think the wording was in the past that COA had agreed that they could mention to people that they could choose to make a donation. What do we want to do about that? And that's one question. And the second question is, do we want to have, do we want to ask for a minimum balance? Or don't we? I know we've talked about this in the past. I mean, I'm just putting that out there. Do we want to do anything in regards to that? I know that there's some, I don't want to not provide care to someone who really needs it.
Okay, well, Millinger here, I know that Linda was very keen on, we are not allowed to, I think, deal with money ourselves. So I don't think we can say this is what it costs. I think we can say we are open to donations. If somebody asks how much it costs, I would say Susan could say that, but we don't want to think that they have to pay a certain percentage of the price or all of it.
Okay, we are open to donations. All right. All right.
I mean, you may not want to agree, but that's how we approached it in the past.
That's fine. I just want clarity to provide to Susan Gomberg.
So point of,
Gray has a question when you're done.
Okay. Jeanette,
So point of clarification, we can't handle money. Meaning like if someone makes donations, we can't handle that money or we can't suggest anything to do with money.
Okay, well, I do not think the Council on Aging can accept donations.
Uh-huh.
These donations are for the foot care program, which charges money. They're not for us.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, okay, what, no government committee can accept money? That's why we need a Friends. If we want to get money given to us, they would be given to our friends. And I saw in the last MCOA that there was a reference to somebody having some friends of a COA.
okay, thank you, that helps. Okay,
Right here with my question when you're ready.
great.
Okay, thank you. I'm thinking about the website and what we say there, and I'm confused. So we're going back to town hall, that's great. But the question I have is, are the people who are getting home visits now, can they still do that, or does this replace that?
The Susan, let me look at this MOU. Um, Favre here. I need to clarify that. Janice,
Thank you. I thought maybe I just lost track of things.
no,
So it's not just me.
Susan Mellinger.
Okay, I think everybody knows that Nan Mead, I'm one of the people that receives foot care, and Nan has been pushing this going back for some time. And the last time we talked about this, she said that if there was somebody who wasn't comfortable coming to town hall, she would do a home visit.
Okay,
But you might want to double check.
thank you. I will. I will. Susan Gomberg has called the people for next month, and they're all happy to be coming back to town hall. So on a second note, having driven by Leverett's town hall, they have a wooden sign, and it's similar to the wooden sign that the library advertises programs. And it's a wooden sign that's double-sided. The library has one with those plastic letters advertising, reading programs. So my thought was, do we advertise the foot clinic to people with a sign out there by town hall? Is that something that would make sense to do so that people know about it?
Yeah. Is there a town hall? I think those are called sandwich boards. Is there a town hall sandwich board
I don't know.
could use?
There was one a long time ago, but I think it was damaged. Because the 211th committee, it's the 250th anniversary committee, purchased one.
I will ask
But-
Becky.
Becky would know the answer to that.
Okay, I'll ask Becky. They run between $150 and $200. But I was just thinking, it's like it was, well, we have limited ways to advertise, and it might be, it would be great to be able to fully utilize this clinic. So I can find samples and send them around via email, and you can see what you think. I'll talk to Marianne and find out where they got their sign. All right, so I will work on that for next month. Okay.
Martha, thank you for doing all this to get
Oh, you're
the,
welcome.
Yeah.
Ray
Um,
concurs.
yes, I was very grateful. Susan Gomberg was happy to be involved again. All right. Okay, updates. Susan. So letter, oh, all right, are we down to unanticipated business? I do believe. There's a lot. Okay, so today Joanne Bernard sent a letter to the select board retiring from council on aging. She states that they sold the house, so that was very fast. It was on the market for a week.
wow.
Yeah, so we need to plan some sort of a celebration for her retirement from council on aging. So I sent her a note today congratulating her on the speedy sale and telling her we'd certainly like to celebrate her term on council of aging and to provide me some possible dates, the end of May, June. So hopefully I didn't overstep my bounds, but it's easier if we have something in mind. Stockton, Jeanette.
Yeah, what are we thinking? Like getting together for lunch or something like that?
This is father. It occurred to me, this is when her husband retired from recycling. It was a public event, so
It also applauded her as well. I was there.
okay.
Yeah,
So-
it was for both of them. And
All
it was
right.
nice.
All right.
Yeah.
So do we need to make this a public event or can it be the smaller group? You tell me, I'm new to this.
I was at that event and it celebrated the two of them for their dedication to our community.
Okay,
Yeah, Millinger,
Mhm.
I'm, as the senior member who came, I made a presentation. I mean, I gave a little talk, little speech about Joanne. So
That's right.
I don't think we need to do anything public. I think this would be more a matter of the board members getting together.
okay, all right, great, good,
That's sense to you all?
makes sense to me.
Here,
Great.
I couldn't go to that joint celebration of the two of them because I had COVID. So I missed the whole thing and I would be and I wasn't at last month's meeting where I thought maybe you did kind of have a little celebration of her as part of the meeting. So I'd be delighted to have a chance to have one final goodbye.
Great, great. I didn't get to that meeting. I didn't get to the Gary / Joanne party either, so that would be nice. So I mean, I'm happy to host it here. I mean, we have a big deck and it'll be outside and that, that might make people, that might be easier for you, Janice, in terms of being out in the open air. So does that work for people? People have other ideas? I'm open to whatever people want to do. Stockton,
I think that sounds great.
thumbs up, okay. Susan,
Well, it's wonderful if you want to do it, Martha, because you're such a great hostess. But if you don't want to, I think we could go someplace for lunch. We could all go up to New Salem General Store and buy sandwiches, sit outside.
that works too.
Yeah.
And
Or we could go to the co-op for lunch and sit.
support the co-op, yeah.
Yeah.
What works for people?
I would say you, Martha, if you really want to host us, that's wonderful. But if you just as soon pass on that.
Martha loves to host. Yes.
No, it's easy. I don't mind. Jessica, what works for you? Are there some days when you're available for lunch?
I could make myself available.
Okay,
I'm definitely flexible in most days.
okay, all right. All right. Susan,
I was just thinking, do you want us to do a sort of potluck and let other people bring stuff to make it easier for you in terms of cooking? I'll bring my famous deviled eggs that most people like.
oh, great. Yeah, we can make, I mean, we can make this easy. Nobody has to, right? All right. So let me see, any other thoughts? All right. Let me see what Joanne has to say. And I'll let you all know, and we'll work around dates and what works for us all. All right. Cool. All right, good. You were done. All right. Number two, I contacted Gail Feischinger, and to see about putting everybody on Council on Aging email. And it's Fred Steinberg that handles it. And he sent me an email in terms of how I can do it. I want everybody to stay on this committee. So fair warning, there are a lot of emails on this Council on Aging. And so this is my suggestion. I can set people up on the Council of Aging. It would really help. I know it's easy to just not even look at it, but it would really help if we could look at it and maybe figure out, delete, delete, delete. What do we want to see? And, what of these other things really aren't of any interest? I mean, there's a lot of stuff that is kind of beyond, I think, the capacity of what we can do, because we don't have these places, other places deal with staff and blah, blah, blah. So do you want me to try that? I don't want you quitting because I blew up your email. I'll take you off. But it's a lot of emails, trust me. On a daily basis, it's like, oh my God.
So, okay, so hang on a sec. This is Millinger. How is this going to work? Do they all come to COA? So they're identified in our mailboxes as COA mail?
No, what you'll do is you'll set up a second. So the way it works for me, and I'm sure the way you'll have access to another Google email, which is a COA email.
Oh,
So
great.
you'll have your own email. So I won't necessarily blow up your email box, but the COA one will be quite bloated. Because I mean, it's like 20 emails a day at least, and some of these things are worthwhile and other ones, they're not. But I think it would help. It would, there are some things that I don't want to be the determinant to figure out, well, what somebody's interested in or not. And something might pick somebody might see something that interests them. So great, read it and share it with us. So this would be a separate Gmail. So you could periodically, go in and go through the Council on Aging email. So you're right. It doesn't blow up your own personal email, but the COA email is bloated, in my opinion. So I can do that. Do you all want to be, your names want to be put on and then you can access it? I have to figure out how to access it, and I'll send you out directions. You're all jumping. Janice, you have a thought?
Well, I'm just a little confused because at one point we were told we should have our own Gmail emails for town volunteers. But yet the number of, like gray.j at whatever, had filled up and I couldn't get one. And I'm on a very old email for the newsletter. And I thought I had asked for that to change so that I was legitimately on a Gmail account that was approved by the town. And it's still coming to jsgray@crocker.com. But at the same time, I was told that Gmail doesn't like crocker.com, which is my internet service provider, as well as my email. And so I'm not sure I'd get them.
Okay.
I don't understand these things well.
All right. to be honest, I don't quite I saw that Fred sent me, I got pushed on to Fred who dealt with it, and Fred said he gave me the information so that I can set it up. So I don't know, I can put all our names in and hopefully the system works, and I'll talk to Fred and you can see if you get it. We can maybe start with that.
Okay, I'll try.
All right, I'll try too. Susan Millinger.
Yeah. Yes,
No, you have your hand raised.
I do. Oh,
Yes, oh, the icon hand.
Icon
Oh.
hand.
sorry. I don't
Sorry.
know
Not
how
official
that
hand.
up. I must have somehow pushed the wrong button.
Okay. All right. All right. So I'll work on that. Okay. So there's a committee, Digital Equity Committee. And this is being formed. It's a work committee with FRCOG, the Franklin Regional Council on Government. And it's there's a subcommittee between Leverett and Shutesbury, and they're developing a digital equity plan. And one of the points is to provide service to broadband service to all of the homes. And there's a survey. It's a pretty complete survey that the broadband committee in town under Gail Huntress will be sending out, and they're trying to evaluate whether you have internet, how your reception is, how frequently calls are being dropped. If you don't have it, why don't you have it? Is it a question of economics? And so that survey will be coming out through the broadband committee, and Council on Aging was notified of this committee, and so I will go to the next meeting just so we can keep in the loop. So that's that information. And smartphones, 10 people attended, 6 for the smartphones and 3 7 and 3 or 4 for the 4 for the what do you call it?
Android.
Thank you, the Android. And so that was well received. And so the one thing that I was thinking about is that, and I know I mentioned this before, but I'm thinking this summer I'd be willing to try to offer a program for people that have the medical portal. I think most of us have it around here. It's Brigham, Mass General, Cooley Dickinson, that portal. I mean, I use it a lot, and I don't know how comfortable people feel using it. For me, it's an easy way to send messages, look up lab results. So, I'd be up for offering a class for people to just look at each of those settings and how do you get in there and how do you do it. So Susan.
I actually have 3, and you might want to be aware of this. I mean, I have one for Valley Medical
Okay.
for Bay State Franklin, and I have one for Cooley Dick, i.e., Mass for Brigham.
Okay, right.
And other people will probably have duplicates, more than one also.
Okay, right. All right.
I mean,
thank
this
you.
does.
I would take on the Brigham one, the one I know. But the other ones are fairly, I mean, I've used my brother's to help him out. So they're similar. So okay. All right. Thank you for the heads up on that. All right. Any other Susan Mellinger?
Didn't I send you a little note about the one I want just introduced briefly?
Yes.
Okay, in the last edition, I think it was the last issue of the AARP newsletter, the State News Massachusetts was about the elder justice unit, which deals with elder fraud. It was a really interesting article, and I thought it might be useful to have on our website a little bit of information about the unit and how you access it. So not using the AARP magazine, which I realize we can't do, but presumably we can refer to a Massachusetts government site. So if that sounds good to people, I will take the information to Janice.
Right here, that's fine with me.
I mean, elder fraud apparently is a really big issue. And the governor set up this unit under the AG's office. Jeanette, for me or for Martha?
Actually, to both of you, to anyone. We had Village Neighbors did a meetup where I think it was the state attorney's office came and did an entertaining, brief, and very informative presentation on fraud and all of its and elder fraud as well. And they had presented to us a while ago at a Village Neighbors meeting. They might be willing to do that again if we should ever be interested.
Were they the Medicare fraud people? The
I don't
Medicare?
think it was Medicare. It was just like fraud in general. And they
Oh.
did it almost like a Jeopardy, one of those boards, you know, where you $100, $200, you could like pick like how much do you know about your credit card or and you know, we walked away going like, wow, we thought we knew everything, and we're like ripe for the picking. 61 Lakeview Road.
That sounds interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was good. It was really good. I wish more people had been there.
Jeanette, can you find the people the name of the people that did that?
Yeah,
Okay,
if you would remind me, that would be helpful. I
okay.
think it was the state attorney.
Well, it could be from this particular organization, so you might want the email.
Yeah, I think I probably get that AARP thing that I could kind of fact check it.
Okay, it was the April 20 issue on page 40 on the front lines of fraud. That was their big fraud issue.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay. The letter on transportation to, I think I dropped the ball on this one. The letter of transportation, we still need to send a letter to the select board, I believe, in regards to select board needs to send a letter to the Franklin Regional Government to get that whole bus thing going. Is that correct, Susan?
Yes, that
Yeah,
is. If you have any questions, I would ask Joanne.
yeah,
Right.
yeah, Martha, I think I dropped the ball here because I was supposed to find out about that, and I was all proud I got that invoice from Mary Ann, but didn't take care of this. So
I have information. I'll send it to you, Jeanette.
all right.
You're getting good at writing these letters to
A
select
big
board, right?
invoice. Woohoo!
Yes, the invoices have been paid. All right. All right, anything else? So we'll plan a. Plan a party for Jeanette.
I mean, no, Joanne. I'm not
Joanne,
retiring yet. Although if you want me to. Actually, Martha, can I just give a quick because almost everybody here is now a member of Village Neighbors. Just want to remind everybody that on May 19th, we are having our annual meeting, and right after that, we're having a celebration from 1 to 3 at the Shutesbury Athletic Club with lunch and music. And we had it last year and it was really nice. So I'm sure you get my monthly email, but just a reminder, if you have nothing to do next Sunday, or even if you have something to do next Sunday, it's quite worthwhile. The 19th,
Is what,
Yeah, what,
Nick-
what time?
the 19th, right?
Sunday,
May
the
19th, Sunday, May 19th. Yeah.
So can Jessica come as a COM member?
Yeah,
And my question is what time it is. I missed it.
sure. The annual meeting itself is from 12 o'clock to 1 o'clock. That's a public meeting. We have to do that once a year. And then the celebration is anywhere from between 1 to 3.
Okay, good, because I have something to do at noon, so that's fine.
It's an enjoyable party last year. All right. All right, so any other important things to go over? Jessica?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Oh,
You're
no, no,
okay.
nothing.
Okay,
I'm making notes and I'm learning.
all right. Jessica has agreed to be treasurer, so I promised her that I will get together and fully explain how to do the warrants and submit them to Gail and provide her with a formula for the monthly treasurer report, which Susan has created a nice format. So thank you very much, Jessica.
So
Very
just, would you, if you would just send it to me, that would be great. So that I can put it in the minutes.
But which should I send to you, Susan? The information I'm providing.
Well, Jessica can send it to me, or you can send it to me. Somebody could send it to me so that it's really helpful to have a copy of what we're going to be at the minutes at the meeting.
Okay,
So I don't have to worry about getting every single number correct.
right. So the format that you created that I took from April, using that format
Okay,
for the
yeah.
financial report.
Sure, that's great. I just would love the figures ahead of time.
Okay. Oh, yes.
So it's, you usually send them to me before this meeting.
Yes. All right.
So
I will do that. All right. I will do that. Thank you.
It's really nice to have.
Okay.
Gee, Jessica, thanks for becoming treasurer.
yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, hey.
Mm.
Um, all right. Anything else? All right. Shall we make a motion to adjourn the meeting?
So moved.
All right. So Council on Aging meeting will adjourn at 6:52 p.m.
We do have to vote on it.
Yes. Favre, aye.
Ray, I.
Jessica,
Make peace, I.
Millinger, aye.
Stockton, I.
Oh, we did second it, but I guess we'll just,
Oh, seconded, yes.
Yeah.
Jessica seconded. All right, meeting is officially adjourned at 6:52 p.m. And we'll
Bye-bye.
meet next month with, we meet Sarah Fisk, hopefully. All right, thank you all very much.
thank you.
Good night.
Good night.
Bye.